So, I mean, you kind of transitioned from that cover band heavy metal era of your life, but at some point in time, you end up going on the road with your dad, becoming a roadie, and really hanging
Yep.
out with him and learning the business from the business side of things, right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that period of your life and kind of the things you picked up from that you still apply
Sure.
today.
Yeah. No. Uh, when I was in high school, that was still getting influenced to do things after school,
Yeah.
playing in bands and all that kind of stuff. And I was a band nerd too, marching band and stuff. But when I was on the road during the summer with Dad, I started out as a roadie. Was just lifting heavy things, putting them here, putting them over there, and learning. And he started me out that way because he was like, "Well, you got to start somewhere, and you have to start usually at the bottom." So I was like, "All right, well, whatever Dad wants, that's what I'll do." And it helped me the whole way through up until I left in about 19. It was 1999, 2001, right in there. Um, and Dad was his health was starting to fail at that time, but those years were great because I got to work side by side with my dad. I got to learn. I got to be with great musicians and travel and see how productions work, see how to set up a stage, how to treat your fans, how to be that star, but really don't take it too seriously. These are people that have paid money to come see you. You need to give them everything you possibly can. And then on top of that, when the show's over, it's not over. You need to
Yep.
stick around and say hi and thank them for helping you do what you do. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I learned from my dad.
Are you learning
And
what not to do during that time too?
well, I learned what not to do from pre-prison, Johnny Paycheck. Yeah,
Gotcha.
before he went, the things now that's early childhood, and I learned a lot of what I don't want to be. I don't do drugs, never have. Uh, and I get it. Drugs are social again, and there's a lot of that going on. But I don't have any in my band. Uh, there's a no drug policy. That includes pot, everything
Is that
else.
from dad? Like that's I don't want to say in spite of, but because of
Yes,
the things your
it's
dad went through with drugs, that's because of that, right?
that stuff ruined our family at
I'm
times.
so
Right?
interested in this because when I was a kid, my grandmother was an alcoholic. My dad
Okay.
was borderline. My mom was borderline. And I always feel like, and this comes up on the show a lot, so I'm really happy you kind of brought this up. I
Sure.
feel like there's one of two ways we can go, right? We can be weak and just fall in line and do the same thing that the people before us are doing. And that's the same
Yeah.
addictions, the same way that they treat people, all of that. Or we can understand that that's the wrong way of going about it and break the cycle, right? And
Right.
and I mean, what you're talking about is breaking that cycle, essentially, right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and my mom was wild too. So I had two parents like that, and things weren't always easy, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So what I learned was, I saw how that affected the family. I knew what I wanted out of a parent, and seeing other kids and
Yeah.
realizing at some point, hey, my household isn't normal, and whatever normal is. But yeah, I realized that I don't want to go down that path, and I
Yeah.
don't have to.
Right.
So
That's a strength. You know
yeah,
that, right? Like that is a strength.
I guess yeah,
Yeah.
it was a decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I decided I didn't want to do that,
It's
and
very
and I
hard to
didn't.
do that because I mean, generational traditions are really, really difficult to break
Yeah,
because that's what we see when we're formulating and being impressionable and all that as children. That's what we see, and what we see is what is okay. It's what is accepted. So
yeah,
once we figure out that that's not okay, that shouldn't be accepted, and it's not the norm, it's very difficult to break that, whatever it is. So
yeah.
yeah,
No,
it's a very strong thing to do, I feel.
yeah, and if we talk about alcohol, well, I mean, I was in the army.
Yeah,
The military is a drinking culture.
sure.
It really is.
Oh
And
yeah.
I mean, I was a firefighter. That's another drinking culture.
Hmm.
Well, why do we all drink? A lot of times it's to socialize and be part of the team and all that kind of stuff. And then sometimes it's to try to drown a lot of what we've got in our heads
And
after
it's
those
so
jobs are
highly
hard.
pressurized too. Like
Yeah.
you're going from music business to firefighting to military. That's all highly pressurized industries.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but yeah, I made a decision there that, and I'm not going to say I'm innocent. I mean, yeah, I've
Yeah.
had my share of bouts with alcohol
Sure.
and depression and everything else. But yeah, I never went the drugs route, and I never really used alcohol as a crutch.
Yeah.
I would go out and tie one on and get crazy with everybody, that kind of thing. But I don't know. There was always a level of moderation to me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I
a
think
lot of it stems from watching everything it did to my house when I was
yeah,
a
and I
kid.
think we can learn how to separate ourselves from the one-off or between the one-off and the full-on, full-blown addiction, right?
Hmm.
Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to do that as well. Like I don't like
Right.
drinking. It's not something I enjoy all that much. But
Mm-hmm.
like yesterday I went out to dinner with my family. I had a draft beer, I
Yeah.
had one and I'm done and water the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I enjoy a good beer every once in a while, but I also know that I have that generational thing. I call it a generational curse, but really
Yep.
that's probably not the right word for it. But
Oddly
um,
enough, my dad was, and he was an alcoholic. He admitted to it, and once he corrected it, he never drank again.
hmm
He never did drugs again. He didn't smoke. He quit everything.
yeah,
He had an addictive personality,
sure,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, it was never a fear of mine that I would have addictive personality. I don't. I
I
mean,
think
I
you
can
probably look for it though, right? Even now, you probably wonder every once in a while, just
no,
because
because
that's where your dad was.
no, not really, because
Really?
I'm old enough now where it's like, no, I've been around alcohol and drugs and everything. I've been around, well, in high school even. I was around kids who were doing drugs, and I would go out with them and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's like, nah, it's in the room. I don't want it. It's fine. I'll make sure you guys are okay. How about that?
yeah,
But yeah, it's just I never had, and I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I didn't have that, right?
yeah.
But I don't know. It's just this is maybe my addiction. Honestly, is challenges because every career and
I could
everything
see
I've done,
that, man. Yeah, I could see
I'm
that.
always on to what is the next. Okay, once I reach the goal, I'm
The
like, okay,
hard
I'm done with
thing.
that. What's the next thing I'm going to do?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to go away. I'm sure it
Man, I'll tell
wears
you, yeah, I look at
it wears the hell out of my wife. But yeah,
I see your life, and you're always choosing the hard thing, man. I love
yeah.
that, though. That's a good thing, I think. Um,